Good morning, welcome back. Boy, have we covered a lot of topics this week. And last week, I guess we've talked about fiction and nonfiction. We've talked about fact versus opinion. We've talked about Earth Day and taking care of the planet. We talked about how important tiny creatures are, even little ones that are annoying like ants. I hope you've enjoyed all those videos and projects that we've been sharing. I'm back out here by this little tree because we're going to talk about seeds and plants. And I really wish I had you in front of me so that I could pick your brain and ask you a bunch of questions and find out what you already know about seeds and plants. I'm not sure if you need all the information or just a little information. It's kind of hard and different. So I left you some videos so that you can verify when you watch the videos. If you're one of those people that knows a lot about plants and seeds, then those videos should help you really cement the fact that you do truly know those things. If you're one of those people that doesn't know that much about plants and seeds, well, then there'll be some good information in there for you, and hopefully it's in a fun way. So I was going to tell you about this little tree. We used to live in a place that had a lot of big trees in the neighborhood. And there were always hummingbirds and birds, and I really liked living there. And one day in my little flower pot on the ground, there was a sprout. And after a while, it got to be one stick, and it was just one tiny long twig with leaves on it. And I wasn't even sure it was worth keeping, but I left it in that flower pot. And the next year, it got to be like 3 little twigs, and now it's 2 years old. And we finally got to put it in the ground and plant it in our yard. So it's kind of special for a couple of different reasons. It came from a place we used to live, and it's a little seed that hopped in a pot all on its own and grew all on its own. It lasted through 2 winters of snow. I really didn't think it was going to make it in that little flower pot. So this little tree is pretty special to me. So is the book I'm reading today. Maybe you've seen it before. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. It's a super old book. My spine is kind of old and falling apart, and I have to hold it kind of delicately. So when I opened it up and looked at it, because I haven't read it since last spring, I noticed it used to belong to my oldest son when he was 4 years old in preschool. He's an old man. His birthday's tomorrow. I think he's gonna be 33. The Tiny Seed. This story was written in 1989. See if your parents can help you figure out how long ago this story was written. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. It's autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of those seeds flies higher than the others. Up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts. The seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Does not go as fast as the others. Gotta be careful, read those words right. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind. But the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow just yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally it starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child does not see the plants as he runs along. Oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but his neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 6. And look, a bud. And now even a flower. But what's happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them. A hand reaches down and breaks the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. Now it is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it. The rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter. The nights grow cooler. The wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind. But the wind grows stronger, shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. Do you like that one? So here's your job. There are parts of this story that are nonfiction. There are some things that could really happen to this tiny seed. And there are some parts of the story that are fiction. There's a part of this story that I really don't think it's ever going to happen. I would like you to have a conversation with your grown-up. What parts of this story are real? They're nonfiction. What parts of the story are fiction? What parts of the story are fake? That couldn't happen. You guys talk about it. I'll see you tomorrow.